It's episode number 38 here at Tech Headlines Today. Thanks for joining us. In the description is a link to the show links on our website where you can get more details on the topics that we cover. Please subscribe or follow so you'll see our future episodes. Let's get into it. Microsoft brings Xbox's cloud gaming to Steam Deck, but Edge browser required. Microsoft has announced a new way for users to stream Xbox games on the Steam Deck, but they need to install the Microsoft Edge browser on their device first. In a Reddit post, Microsoft added that it's been working closely with Valve on bringing game streaming to the Steam Deck. We're particularly excited about this ourselves as we feel it can open new opportunities in the Linux gaming community. Microsoft says you'll have to go through 16 steps to get Xbox Cloud Gaming running over the Steam Deck. If you prefer not to stream, Microsoft has been working to make its existing PC titles playable over the Steam Deck as natively run games. The current list includes Psychonauts 2, Hellblade, and Sea of Thieves, among others. However, Gears 5 and Halo Infinite still remain unsupported due to the game's anti-cheat systems. Fabric modeled on the human ear can react to your heartbeat. A new kind of fiber material is able to detect a heartbeat, hand claps, or even faint sounds, unlocking a new avenue for wearable technology that can be worked into clothing. This development comes from a collaboration of researchers at MIT and the Rhode Island School of Design. Every fabric vibrates to audible sounds, but normally at a nano level. To capture these minute signals, the researchers developed a flexible fiber that, when woven into fabric, bends with it. The researchers use a material that can generate an electric charge when moved. They use the fabric to convert noise into signals that can be tracked or activate things. Wei Yan, a researcher at Nanyang Technological University, says an acoustic garment can interface with the skin to monitor the wearer's heart rate and respiratory condition. Tech talent flees Russia as Western sanctions bite. Russian entrepreneurs and venture capitalists are leaving their homeland as Western sanctions and political instability make it impossible to run a business in Russia. Eugene Konash, a London-based game designer, was worried as Russia sent troops to Ukraine. He didn't expect a full-scale invasion, but was worried once sanctions were imposed. One of Konash's employees found his bank hit by sanctions and had to convert his savings into dollars. Investors told Konash his startup would become uninvestable if he continued to have such a heavy presence in Russia. The team agreed it was time to leave the country. Several Russian-built companies began to incorporate outside of Russia to placate investors who are wary of backing Russian companies. Russian hackers allegedly compromised Ukrainian news sites displaying Z symbol. Multiple Ukrainian news websites were allegedly hacked by Russian threat actors, leaving the Z symbol on display to visitors. The State Service of Special Communication and Information Protection of Ukraine, the nation's technical security and intelligence service, confirmed the incident in a web post last night, attributing blame to Russian state-sponsored actors. The organization stated, as a result of the attack against the sites, the symbols banned in Ukraine and used by the Russian Federation's troops currently engaged in the open war in Ukraine were placed on their front pages. The government agency said it has identified the networks and servers attacked, with the hackers apparently compromising ad services to display the Z symbol. It added that no personal data was leaked that was located on the compromised resources. Forget about cloud storage. Israelis have unveiled a new storage device designed to work in space. The Israeli startup Ramon.Space develops computer systems for space. They have revealed a new storage device for satellites, which will be the infrastructure for future data centers in space. For almost a decade, the Israeli startup has developed technology designed to operate in the harsh conditions of deep space. This week, they have introduced a storage component for space that has been enhanced to withstand the harsh radiation conditions of space, which will make it possible to bring the data center into space. Professor Ran Genosar, president of Ramon.Space, explained that the main challenge facing electronic components in space is cosmic radiation. In space, commercial SSD storage is mainly damaged by radiation that accumulates over many months, and on average, after about 2 years, it stops working altogether. In space, the atmosphere is empty, and therefore heat generated by the electric components cannot be dissipated by air, so heat removal is our second challenge. The storage product, Ramon.Space, is small enough to be connected directly to satellite systems and enables reading and writing at 700 megabytes per second. Epic Games pledges Fortnite proceeds to Ukraine relief efforts. The company says it's committing all of its Fortnite proceeds from March 20th through April 3rd to humanitarian relief for people affected by the war in Ukraine. Epic Games also convinced Microsoft to donate the portion of in-game purchases made by Xbox players. Epic Games will donate proceeds from Fortnite purchases to the UN World Food Program, the UN Refugee Agency, UNICEF, and Direct Relief to start. The company says all real money Fortnite purchases, including V-Buck packs, Fortnite Crew, gifted battle passes, and cosmetic packs, such as the Voidlander pack sold for real money, will count towards these efforts. Purchases made with the in-game V-Bucks currency will not. US charges former Apple buyer with defrauding more than $10 million from the company. Apple employee Dhirendra Prasad is accused of 5 criminal counts after prosecutors say he defrauded the company out of more than $10 million. Prasad took kickbacks, stole parts using fake repair orders, and caused Apple to pay for items that it never received. Prosecutors said Prasad also evaded taxes on and laundered proceeds from his schemes. Apple fired him in December 2018 after a decade of employment. Prasad faces charges of conspiring to commit wire and mail fraud, commit money laundering, and defrauding the U.S., as well as tax evasion. His arraignment is scheduled for March 24th. Chip shortage could be alleviated with new production technique. In a new technique, scientists in Singapore are able to create highly uniform and scalable semiconductor wafers, which could help manufacturers in the ongoing chip shortage. The ability to produce uniform wafers at the desired thickness is the most important factor in ensuring that every chip fabricated on the same wafer performs correctly. Nano transfer-based printing, a process that uses a polymer mold to print metal onto a substrate through pressure, or stamping, has gained traction in recent years as a promising technology for its simplicity, relative cost-effectiveness, and high throughput. NTU researchers have developed a chemical-free printing technique for semiconductors with nanowires that are uniform and scalable, and demonstrate better performance than current chips in the market. This technique allows a wafer to be fabricated at scale in almost defect-free fashion, with virtually no chips discarded due to poor performance. The team believes their model can be scaled up to used on the mainstream 12-inch wafer used in production lines of semiconductor companies. Support Ukraine relief efforts and get $2,500 worth of free games and more. If you want to support Ukraine and receive some awesome games, books, and software in the process, consider donating to the new Stand With Ukraine bundle from HumbleBundle.com. When you pay at least $40, you will receive $2,500 worth of digital goods. All the proceeds go to humanitarian relief efforts in Ukraine, including Razom for Ukraine, International Medical Corp, and Direct Relief. Charity is its own reward, but like many Humble Bundle deals, this is also an affordable way to get some top PC games. The bundle features 112 items in total. Bigger games include Back 4 Blood, Metro Exodus, Quantum Break, and Sunset Overdrive. You even receive 12 months of GameMaker Studio 2 Pro to make your own games. You can pay what you want to pick up Humble's Stand With Ukraine bundle from now until March 25th. At the time of this recording, Humble has already raised over $9 million. Robotic food delivery? It's coming. Wings, an ecosystem of services and products from Let's Butterfly, has just announced their new on-the-go robotic system, Nectar, powered by Hive Robotics. Nectar is more than just a revolution in retail. It represents a fundamental rethinking and re-engineering of how we as people go about our lives interacting with food services, says Hatham Al-Beek, CEO of Wings. Nectar redefines retail while preserving an essential aspect of people's lives, time. Nectar will bring a new way of autonomous, sustainable retail to life. This is a first of its kind in so many ways. First, short order on-the-go food service is one of the most people-heavy industries. Businesses often rely on strong customer service to keep long-term customers. Second, while most artisan robots have arms, Nectar is made without them, allowing the owners to cut both energy and space in half. Nectar ushers in a new way of experiencing on-the-go food service, says Harry Rao, Chief Manufacturing and Robotics Officer of Wings. The hardware and software combined define a new and novel integrated singular design using 50% less energy for a 50% efficiency in utility and space, while increasing profit margins by a factor of 10. Wings' goal is to have Nectar up and running in late 2023. Customers who decide to utilize Nectar will only have to download an app for placing orders and paying through it. In this app, you can also specify if you have any food allergies, if you're vegan, vegetarian, or on a gluten or dairy-free diet. All deliveries will be driven by a robotic shuttle within Nectar. Your goodies will be in a robotic basket that extends right to its designated drop-off location. This is perfect if you have busy schedules or are in more health-conscious areas. Nectar will deliver to airports, schools, apartment complexes, office buildings, malls, and many other places. Thanks for sticking with us to the end of another episode here at THT. Help us out by sharing the podcast with your friends and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.